Oh, the promo?
Yeah, put up the promo. You're gonna go right there again?
What are you talking about? This is it.
Let's see the promo.
This is it.
No.
This is the promo. This is it right here. Wait. Oh shit. Wait. Hold on. Welcome everybody. Whether it's a beer, a shot, or even a glass of wine, grab your favorite beverage and welcome to the Level 857 Video Game Podcast. We are your hosts, Alg857.
That's one thing hard start, yeah.
Sticks. And your boy Big Chalk. What up?
That's right. And without further ado, let's get right into it.
Oh. All right. And you may know our guests from amazing games such as Shantae, Double Dragon Neon, and River City Girls. Introducing from developer WayForward, Adam, Tierney, and Bannon Rudis.
Yo!
Welcome.
What's up?
What's
up?
We got that. Yeah. All right. Hey.
What's going on?
What's going on, guys?
Really important question. Did I see you posing like Randy Orton?
Yes, you did. You sure did. Any day of the week.
Awesome. Some wrestling.
You are a legend killer, so yes.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's so great.
That's a good catch. Good catch.
Yes.
And just like every podcast, we go around and discuss the games that we've been playing for the week.
But before that, every time,
What?
you guys introduce yourselves to the guest and tell them who you are and what you do.
I'm Bannon.
Yeah.
Bannon Rudis. Bannon Rudis. There you go. I make games here at WayForward. Ad and my tag team this River City Girls game, and yeah, this was originally his idea. So, Adam, tell him about it.
Hi, I'm Adam. I work at WayForward. I've been here a long time, about 15 years as a director. And I also do kind of our biz dev, so deciding what games the company is going for, all the stuff you'll see from us in the next couple of years is stuff that I've been chasing. But aside from that, I direct games. And so River City Girls was me and Bannon co-directing it.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Nice. That is so awesome. All right.
Awesome. Now, can we talk about the games we play?
Yeah, now we can
We
talk.
should
Oh, okay,
start-
good.
I think we should continue starting with them. Let them talk about the games that they're playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's start with
Let's start with the guests. Okay, that's a good idea. I like that.
Are mom and dad fighting right now? I feel uncomfortable.
It's too much pressure, man. I know. See, that's
Well, we usually start out with the games that we're playing, but we're going to throw it to you guys, and you can tell us what you've been playing.
on the spot.
Yeah.
5 seconds. I'm just
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I barely play video games anymore. Ever since I started making them and seeing how the sausage is made,
It's the
I
sad
barely
fact,
play
yeah.
them. Because it's hard to just sit there in my room with that computer that I make
Right.
games on, knowing that, like, I'll be playing whatever Titanfall 2 because that's what I'm playing right now because it was free. We all know how.
yeah, I hear that.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Man down. Man down.
I've heard.
Like,
And
after a while of playing a couple of rounds, like I can hear my computer like, "Hey, Bannon, you should be over here working." And so I barely play
that makes
games.
sense.
The last played start to finish would be Spider-Man.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That
That
counts.
That made me so happy.
That counts.
that game was
That's one of the
fantastic.
best games
Yeah.
ever made.
Yeah.
And then the latest addition to Shovel Knight.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let the cards.
It's
Stuff,
good.
man.
No, I mean, it's the exact same. Like once you start making games, I find myself, I'll be at home, I'll have a few hours, and it's like, well, I could start something, or I could work on one of those 20 little side projects of mine.
Yep.
And start animation on this and start writing on this. So we're just workaholics. The last game I beat, I think, that I loved was Sayonara Wild Heart on Nintendo Switch.
I don't even
Yeah,
know
I
what
don't
that
know
is.
what that is.
It's this
I do.
crazy music game that's sort of like Rez, sort of like a floaty shooter thing. I'll
Gotcha.
show it to you. It's really amazing. And then I just started with my son Fallen Order. So there was one.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Jedi
Oh,
Fallen Order?
Yeah, I wanted to play that.
Yeah.
No, I dig it. It's got like, the standard running around and lightsabering people to death, but it's got a lot of interesting ways that they weave the story in and out and cinematics in and out. So we're digging it.
Awesome, man. And no microtransactions either.
Yeah.
No, I'm just watching. It's kind of funny. The reason we're playing it is our CEO Voldy our boss, said, "Oh, you got to play that game. Like look at how they do the story stuff." And I have a 10-year-old son, so I'm like, "You go play it." And I'm just like sitting on the couch, just watching, being lazy, letting him do all the gameplay.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
That's
it makes,
family time.
It makes sense though that
Yep.
like as a game developer, like you kind of lose the the drive to like play games because it's like it's like a magician. Like once you become a magician, you know how the tricks are done, and it's like you look at magic, you're like
I still enjoy playing video games, but
Right.
we're creative people, so we're always chasing that dragon. Like we're always wanting to create the next thing.
Well, and especially like when you're a director, which is the role that we're in, you never run out of things to do. Like basically you start your game and then you have, 12 months, 16 months, whatever, to put as much stuff in there as possible. So you kind of look at every hour like, am I going to get that cool little sequence I wanted in there, that extra attack for the enemy, or am I going to just watch Netflix? And so you're always balancing, your workaholic behavior against just relaxing.
Exactly.
that makes sense.
It's fun.
So
I remember when I was like reviewing for a website back in the day. All the games I would get, I would try and look at in that type of way, and I would get very cynical about playing them. And I'm like, I just want to play this and not care about anything bad about it. I just want to play it, and that's it.
Yep.
So I just stopped writing and just went back to playing games. That's the only way you can do it. Because this seems different when it's a job.
Yeah.
Oh, especially, I was a tester too. It's hard to get out of that mindset and just enjoy a game for sure.
Not only that, I used to work, like I came to LA to work in film, and once you work on set, and like when you see a car drive up and a character comes out, that actor drove into that spot like 30 times to hit that mark, come out, say that line. They didn't do it right. They had to go in reverse and then park that car like 30 different times. So anytime I see a car pull up, I know that was like maybe take 25.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah, once you see the magic, like you said, once you see it, it's
once you
over.
see it how it's done, it's like, oh wow, okay. You still enjoy it,
But I love you.
That's cool,
Awesome.
man. Anyone else?
Let's go that way.
Let's go that way. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
put it on because I felt like it.
No, I'm good.
Last
I'm
week,
good.
man. It's
I'm
me
good.
last
I'm good. I got this. I got this.
Let me
All right.
guess. No, go ahead.
Yeah, right.
It's no surprise.
No, it's not.
I've been playing Dragon Ball Fighters.
Of course.
No
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
No shit.
I love if these guys are like sick of me because I love Dragon Ball so much.
We love that. In fact, we worked with ARC, co-published and co-produced River City with us, and that was right after. I think we started a few months after Fighters came out.
Yeah.
So we were constantly bugging them about how did you do these effects, and they were giving us feedback on like interrupts and timing and all hit stops and all that kind of stuff. So working with them on this game, not to jump ahead too much, but that game was really influential, even though that's a fighter and we did a brawler. We really dissected the hell out of that game.
I mean, not only that, it's daunting to know like that game came out and then they're asking us like, oh, make another fighting game in this style. Like, can it be on par with this? I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's something to step up to.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Those are pretty big shoes to follow. But
Who's the last, the newest fighters in there? I know they're always dropping new characters in it.
another Goku probably.
yeah, he's not wrong.
No, it's actually right.
I think they're releasing Ultra Instinct Goku. I think they're going to give details on that this weekend at the tournament that's in that's in France.
That's like the 8th
Evo.
Goku, right?
Yeah, no, it's not an Evo.
Not Evo?
No, it's just a Dragon Ball Fighter tournament. It's the World Tour actually. So I think the last stop was in Spain. This one is in
Oh shit.
is in Paris.
Is it called the
okay.
meeting of the Gokus?
No.
The meeting of the Gokus. It's like,
But they're gonna release Ultra Instinct Goku, and the last one they released was Broly from Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, I saw that. I took
So
my kid
dope.
to see the movie. It's crazy.
Me too. Oh man, I saw it too. Oh, so good. All right,
He
but
took this kid
video
to go
games.
see
Yeah,
bro.
Video games.
yeah.
Hold on, let me focus. Video games.
All right, nerd alert.
And then
Is Broly the character that's really buff and he has spiky hair and wears a karate gi?
that's
that's
the guy. That's the
so much-
guy.
You're close. No, I'm just-
No, that's
but changing gears. Speaking of gears, I was playing Gears 5.
I see that segue. I see what you did
I like
there.
that segue.
I didn't
see
do
what
that
you
on
did
purpose.
there.
Changing gears.
Yeah, you did that on purpose.
Don't give me credit for that. I didn't
You
do it on
rehearsed
purpose.
that the whole time.
I did not. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Gears 5.
That's dope. That's a dope game.
Yeah, I love Gears 5. It's fun. It's addictive. And we got to get all five members of level 857 on that horde mode like soon.
I'm still down.
I'm
We got to
down.
make this happen.
I just don't know if we can stream that live. I don't know.
We
how
can
we're
stream
gonna...
it.
Just Chocolate knows how.
We can stream
I
it.
don't know. We're gonna have to figure
Trust
that
me.
out.
We'll figure it out. It's not all going to get recorded, but we can do it.
Yeah, I know. I know you
That's what
guys
you're
out
playing?
there want to see that, but
All right.
I don't know
So-
how we're gonna get it done.
What I've been playing is the same thing. If you watched last week, I'm still playing the same thing. So he goes off that Gears, and we jump onto this Gear. I've been playing Gears 5 also.
Yeah.
And I'm still impressed. I'm very impressed with how much action is in it. And it's just a lot of kinetic energy, man. Like everything in the game is just, there's nothing in there I don't like. Like there's a part, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's an open world kind of area.
Spoiled.
Oh,
Like,
come
not
on.
spoiled. So there's an open world type thing like in God of War. It's pretty much the same type of like area that you can go through. And just something about that changes the game just enough for me to care about this one because they've done so much of them and they've been so similar that this finally did something that made me
No, it's the
enjoy
best
it.
one.
It's a nice
I'm
change.
not even finished with it yet. It's the best
No.
one. That's the best
And
one.
it's like
Yeah.
every encounter, like every turn you do is like, oh, is this a boss? Is this crazy? Like the enemies are so much fun to fight in it now
Yeah.
that it just 4 should have never happened. 4 should have never happened.
No, we
In
needed 4 to
comparison
get to
this one,
5, man. We needed 4 to get to 5.
Man, they should have did like a little
Like
cutscene.
episodic, right?
No, they
Like,
should have did a cutscene of
Well,
4 real
actually,
quick and went to 5 because this one is way more fun.
Well, I mean, if 4 never happened, it would make 5. I mean, because 4 happened,
It's
it
not that
makes
important.
5 that much better, though.
Not
It makes
that
it that much
important.
better.
Not that
Makes
important.
4
you- it makes you-
introduced the cast of 5.
Yeah,
pretty
there you go.
much.
5
No,
introduced
no,
the cast of 5.
Damn.
No,
They could have done that in a cutscene. Let me
Four-
say.
All right, let's move on. What do you
Sorry,
play?
sorry.
What do you play?
All right.
Quick request though. Could I get a better segue than the last guy did?
Oh shit, that's a lot of pressure, man.
I'm a hard act to follow, bro. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
no, you are. You set the bar very high.
I don't know, man. That was tough. That's tough. That was a good one.
I would
That
go.
was a good one.
You know what's in there.
You
So
got
I've
this.
been playing. No, so like,
You gotta say it, man. Low.
so I've been playing Wargroove. No, I've been playing Wargroove. Trying to get through this game. Awesome tactical
Oh, you missed the
RPG.
whole thing.
You missed the segue.
Yeah, you
you could have
did
said,
miss the
speaking
segue.
of war, I'm playing Wargroove.
Oh, boom! See, that's easy.
All right.
There you go.
I'm going to write Alice
There's
script.
my weakness there. That's my weak point. Then.
How come they're not calling it Gears of War anymore? Speaking of war,
Yeah, no, yeah.
Missed opportunity, guys.
Missed
Sorry.
opportunity. Our writer. This is our writer for.
continue, please.
Anyway. I've been playing Wargroove. At the what is it? Just finished the 4th chapter, and I heard. Well, looking online, I was like, "How many chapters are in this game?" Because I want to know how far it is.
That's
to the
usually
end.
daunting to do. Sometimes.
Yeah, no. Sometimes you get
It
intimidated
makes
when
me
you
very
when you
sad
do that.
when I do that.
But awesome game. Like every battle is like you learn new stuff, and the way they design the game, it's beautiful fucking game. And I can't wait to beat it so that I can do the co-op with Turbo 857, who's not here. And then of course this is another one that's not a surprise. I play Tetris 99 every day.
Tetris
Dude,
99.
Yeah.
I actually unlocked the 4 stages that I didn't get because I didn't get to play the tournaments last year. And those stages were only available to people who reached a certain amount of points. And then
Right.
you couldn't get them at all after that. But they re-released those and they made them available. And I bought them with the
What
the tickets.
stages?
Fire Emblem. What was the other one? The retro Game Boy stage. And 2 other ones which I forgot because
It's very puzzling that you
Yeah.
play that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
man.
There.
Oh,
Puns.
man.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh,
Here we
man.
go.
So yeah,
That
moving
one
on.
hurt. That one hurt.
I'm actually
What are
happy
you
that you
playing?
brought up Fire Emblem because speaking of Fire Emblem, I've actually been playing with Byleth in Smash Brothers Ultimate. Look at that segue right there. It's the same thing right. No, but
No one said anything.
no,
about that.
that was a perfect segue, man. Same thing.
I said Wargroove, not Fire.
Yeah, because Smash Brothers Ultimate just recently released Byleth that everybody completely hates, and they're very upset with the 8th Fire Emblem character. But I actually am obsessed with Fire Emblem, and he's a dope character. Very dope character.
It's like Dragon Ball releasing Goku's.
But these are all different characters, man. These are all different. These are variations of the same guy with different color hair.
Nah, but he does different moves.
Man, I want to hear it. You and your damn game. I don't know if you guys play Smash Brothers, but me and Turbo 857, who isn't here now, we actually play it online competitively a lot, and yes, usually a lot of drama involved in that, and a lot of yelling.
My son plays it constantly. Are they doing? I haven't played it in a little while, but are they doing? Is it right now, or did it already happen? The Kunio Ricky promotion thing. Did you guys see that with the spirits?
Yes. They did that like a week ago, maybe. Yeah. I wonder if that's like a foreshadowing to maybe some River City characters, perhaps in Smash Brothers. I don't know, but maybe
if there's spirits there in the game,
you know what I'm saying?
Got it. All right, you got
it. But yeah, obviously playing Smash Brothers with the Byleth. I opened up State of Decay 2 for Xbox One once again. After Microsoft kind of deleted all of my saved files.
Again,
I had to. I don't want to hear it. All right.
I'm trying to help you out.
They deleted all my stuff. I had to start over. They added some cool stuff to the game, like changing a wardrobe and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I already know how to play the game. You know what? Let me try a higher difficulty. I put that shit right back down. I'm like, yo, the two main characters I started with died in the first 20 minutes. I said, no, we're going back to the regular difficulty.
20 minutes?
Yo, they died quick.
They want a different gameplay out of you. They want to change it, so it's not the same.
No, man.
They updated it, man.
I wasn't about that life. No, I had to stop that. But yeah, mess with that. And playing Gears 5 with Chalk, and I'm playing Children of Morta with Turbo 857.
What is
Children of Morta for the Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
Overhead. Like
overhead dungeon crawler / kind of roguelike.
Yes.
Awesome game.
Never even heard.
Check out the Indie eShop recap where we watched the trailer for it.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
I mean, hey, man. That's how we discovered a lot of games. Actually, a lot of games that we've been playing, especially indie games.
Nah, that's
we discovered off of the Indie eShop.
That's
just doing that show in general. Like most people just they just see what's coming out day to day, but we look at what's coming out in the month. Yeah, and I think we discover more stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we've never heard that are like under the radar. Like
I will stumble upon games like
like there was what was it the game I played that we saw on the eShop, One Person Story. This is I think it was like a $2 game. Yeah, exactly. So you look $2 like
you never know what you find. In
this game was like it's what like playing it. It's way worth more than that.
Yeah,
like wow.
You never know what you're gonna find.
You don't know what you're gonna get, man.
Well, they release a lot.
So at least I figured out your price point for buying games.
Damn! Bannon with the shot.
$5. $5 is the highest I know.
He just took that knife and just kind of twisted it. Like
it's so cold in here. The shade.
Damn, where's Turbo when you need him, man? Turbo 857. You got my back.
Man.
Is he in the chat? Turbo 857. If you're in the chat,
that one hurt me.
Help me.
That hurt my soul. Oh my goodness. I think it might be time for the news.
Time for the news.
Yeah, I think it's time for the news, y'all.
News.
He said it is.
It's time for the news.
Microsoft announces Xbox Live bug bounty with payout as high as $20,000.
Damn.
So this isn't new. Like a lot of big companies issue out bounties for finding flaws in their system, just so they'll pay out. They'll lose a lot less money if they give money to the people who hack the systems, because those people are gonna be like, oh, I know the hack already. I'm gonna out this and take the money instead of using it for something that's gonna take everything from Microsoft over time. So this has happened before for many, many, many systems. This is always something that's out there.
Right.
But they're just making it very public now. So, because if Xbox Live gets hacked, that's big money involved. Big money involved.
Yeah.
So every little thing they have, they said from either $500 all the way up to $20,000.
Yeah.
It depends on how big the hack is. So if you find something that's going to cripple them, then you're like, oh, thanks, guy. And then they'll usually hire these people to stay on top of it every update they do. So, somebody, because there's always somebody out there who can crack the system.
Yeah.
So they want to get the best out there to try and stop that guy. Kind of like
it's an
what was
audition.
that movie?
Well, what happened with Sony?
Catch me if you can.
What was that?
What's that?
Catch me if you can.
Yeah.
Just like I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Catch Me If You Can. Like he was one of the guys who like manipulated the system and got in there, and then I don't want to spoil the movie, but it's an old movie. But basically, they hire him, and he's the guy who fights against all the other people. So
everybody, we've learned, do crime until you get hired.
If you're good enough at crime,
Basically.
If you have enough talent,
We're all on the same
yeah,
page.
if you're good enough, crime pays. That's what it means.
Yeah, I get that's a lesson to everyone out there. No,
Not at all.
well, it happened with Sony. Remember the Sony hack, man?
Well, Sony got hacked. Microsoft, I don't believe I remember anything from Microsoft where it was a massive hack where everyone got their emails taken and all that. Sony, on the other hand, there have been a few.
They could have used done something like this.
They could have. They should have had a bounty out that everyone knew about.
Yeah.
If memory serves, I think Sony's hack was part of the reason why we got the new good Spider-Man movies, because some of the emails that were leaked were their plans with the Spider-Man stuff before Marvel, and kind of they didn't know what the hell they were doing, and it was exposed to everybody, and then so they had the pressure to then fold them into Kevin Feige and the Marvel crew and do that collaboration. So the whole Tom Holland, Spider-Man, Civil War, I don't think any of that probably would have happened without that Sony hack.
Exactly.
Thank you, Sony hacker.
Thank you.
You know what's crazy
Get
about
those
that?
emails out because you made a great game.
Except for Ghostbusters, that was.
Well, they had the chance. They had a chance to stop it.
They can't get everything right.
Yeah,
but they said, "This sounds like a good idea."
Yeah,
they were wrong. The new one, the new one looks way better. Okay, but what does it say? It said Google recently announced that it paid out $6.5 million via its bug bounty programs in 2019. So that's just 1 year, and that's nothing compared to what they make and what they didn't lose for offering that much money. So you can imagine hackers are like, "Listen, this is my way to get money by hacking this stuff." Instead of like, "Oh, they're out to get me. I'm in jail." You can be like, "I know how to do it. I'm paid now." That's how we do it.
I think it's called
and I have a job.
Ethical hacking. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Ethical hacking.
Ethical hacking. Yeah.
Or they can
People
do
that
this.
work for like Citibank and
Or they get the hacks and then they put it to a virus a virus protection company, and then they implement it in their thing. They're like, "Listen, we're going to offer in our thing to block that, but we're going to charge you $20 a month." So it's
ransomware.
Yeah, not ransomware. This is the legit way.
Oh,
so yeah, it kind of sucks too when they try and do that also, but they can use it to their advantage and make money constantly also.
Yeah.
What's your take on it, Adam and Bannon?
Hack the planet.
It'll happen.
All right.
We're game developers, so yeah. If you look at our screen, we've got the matrix zeros and ones going down. We don't even see the numbers anymore. We just like there's a blonde in a red dress.
Okay.
It's redhead schoolgirl and then brunette schoolgirl. We're just typing it and it just comes out.
I love it.
I've seen the 90s movie Hackers.
Yes.
That's pretty much how we do it.
That's what I quoted. Hack the planet.
Yep.
I just saw that last
Me
week.
too.
Yeah.
I saw that recently, man. I was like, wow, that's an old.
It didn't age.
I'm so sorry.
Didn't age well.
So like,
Well, I mean,
I like the premise still. I do. but it's old now.
That movie
I don't
can't age well. It's impossible. With the way technology moves forward, you'd have to like reboot
with
that
Hal,
movie every
I think
year.
the movie with Hal and all that. That aged well. That could still happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Movie with who?
The robot the AI that took over and he had to play chess.
2001 Space Odyssey.
It's called Skynet.
That's see that aged well. You just can't do the effects. Don't do the effects like you knew what the internet was gonna be like in 20 years. Don't do that.
You can't release
that. Ages
movie.
bad.
You can't even put the movie out anymore.
Yeah.
It's just not accurate.
Yeah.
But that Angelina Jolie.
But you gotta leave it the same way. Oh boy.
Okay, on to the next bit of news.
Moving on.
Hey, that's a long time. So, Death Stranding being played with a treadmill looks as exhausting as it sounds.
I saw that clip.
So,
man.
If it wasn't tiring enough playing this game, no, I'm not gonna talk about
UPS simulator.
No.
Disrespect.
Someone wanted to say, so they said that the guy gained some weight over the holidays. He said, "Listen, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna set up the left control pad as my treadmill." So it wasn't just him walking while he was playing. He set it up to be the actual movement while he walks on it.
Right.
So him running would be him running, and him walking would be him.
It's impressive, man.
So this is why VR is a thing, but it hasn't been up to that point yet. Because if you had to walk in a game like that, in a role player, and say like Skyrim or like this, where you're walking constantly, it's not something that people, especially gamers, are gonna want to do. But I mean, it could benefit them definitely. You can get in shape.
Well, yeah,
But they're not gonna do that. They're gonna find a way to sit down and just move their feet.
Well, they have
move their legs while they sit down.
Well, they got Ring Fit Adventure, and
Ring Fit is actually doing well.
That's doing well.
Yeah, but they're not actually running throughout a game as big as something like Death Stranding. You know how long it'll take to get you walking from one side of the country to the other?
Right.
Like, that's crazy. And he had a book bag. Dude had a book
He had
bag
a
on.
backpack
He was
simulating the whole
he would
experience.
put weight in it to make
I was about to say,
like
what's
he's
in that
doing
book bag?
No, he
How
was-
did simulate
He
that
was
whole-
simulating the whole experience. How he's carrying
Man,
all this
listen,
thing.
I'm not about that, man. That's crazy.
I don't know, man. I think it's interesting,
People
man.
are nuts.
But I don't know if you guys know. Have you ever heard of the three? What is it? I don't know what it's called, but it's a treadmill that goes in like 360 degrees, like all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some of this, like when they did for shooters and stuff a few years ago, where
Yeah.
reacts to feet and it's kind of holding you up so you can run in any direction.
Yeah.
That just sounds tiring. I don't
Yeah,
want to do
it
that.
does. It does.
That
But
was
it's
the
still cool,
test.
nonetheless. Though, like to be.
I've seen a different version of it also where it is almost like a giant, like a hamster ball.
Oh,
Where you're in
wow.
it, it's so massive that you can't actually tell that you're actually working, like walking up kind of like an incline kind of
that's
thing.
interesting. I never even
But
thought of that.
all of this, I keep thinking about VR, and all of this seems like we'll look back on it 10 years from now, seem like this massive treadmill and this harness that you have to wear, and you put a ring around you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like just simply looking at the original iPhone
Yep.
looks archaic.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be looking at the, what was it, the thing for Genesis, the activator or whatever?
Actually, the
What?
closest
It's like a little circle. That thing you had to wear, and then there's a little circle you had to step in.
It would hit you if you got hit.
That was a thing?
That's a good idea.
For Genesis, yeah.
No, it's gonna be
That's-
like
that's archaic.
It's gonna
old.
be crazy. Like in the closest thing was the craziest one was the Black Mirror episode with the what was it, that fighting game?
Oh no, that's not.
That was,
Striking
that was a
Vipers.
bad. I mean, I didn't like the episode. That ending was like weird. That was a weird
It's a good episode, but it's
But
not
the
bad
technology, I'm talking about the tech in the episode. That was a cool idea.
Come on, it's a love story, right?
Yeah, it was.
I like everybody's reactions.
Yeah,
Like,
That episode was wildly entertaining.
That was entertaining. I'm like, oh,
Listen.
Falcon from oh god. No.
Listen, the sad thing about that is if you look 20 years into the future, that's probably not gonna look old.
I know, right?
It's probably gonna look like too much like the future.
They'll be like, wow, that's very accurate.
Oh gosh, I don't want to think about
I don't know.
it. So
Well, the funny thing about like Kojima games, especially because they're so built around like doing things repetitiously, and it made me think of remember Metal Gear Solid 3, where it was like, oh, it's gonna be so realistic, but in that game, Snake is like always starving, so it's like every 2 seconds I gotta eat something. He's just like shoving like 50 meals down his throat in the course of like half an hour just to stay alive, and I'm like, I don't think they balanced that quite right.
No, murdering people, you burn a lot of calories.
That's true. That's true.
that's true. And if you
Kicking
fall
ass
off
is a
curb-
workout.
If you fall off a
It
curb
is.
and that, you do pop your leg and have to bandage it up too.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. That was gross.
Oh my
Around the
gosh.
Mhm. But this was just for referencing. It was YouTuber Alan Pan who did this. So yeah, good job.
That
Good
was-
job on making that an exercise simulator.
Alan Pang, I hate your creation. I'll never use it.
Shots fired.
I applaud your effort, but
I will never do it.
Ben was just laying people out today.
what do you do when the character falls over?
You have to imitate that fall.
Yeah, you gotta
treadmill.
fall on
Yeah.
the treadmill. No,
You
no.
gotta
just
get
have to
back
let it
on.
go.
Yeah, people falling off a treadmill was probably like some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen in
That
my
video
entire
would
life.
probably double in fucking views if he fell off that.
Yeah, there you go.
Aside from the running, he's got to find a baby, and you got to put it in the
Oh.
embryonic
Oh,
fluid.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
I hope he doesn't carry a baby on that treadmill.
On the
That would be
treadmill.
like, no.
See, that's not
This
funny.
has to stop.
That's not funny.
Then
That
you gotta-
baby's in danger.
Then you got to fall with the baby.
You can't fall with the baby. Yeah, nah.
No, that's not being funny.
Oh,
That definitely stopped being funny.
a real infant strapped to your chest. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going too
I don't
far.
That is
Okay.
going too far. Yeah, moving on. This got really dark somehow. I don't know how, but whatever.
We are off the
Oh,
rails.
man.
Next one. Next one.
Okay,
That's
so let's go to the next news, y'all.
I blame Bannon. It's his fault.
Yeah, it is your fault.
It's
It's
always
your fault.
Bannon's fault.
So, WarCraft 3 Reforged has the lowest user score for a game on Metacritic.
Oh, damn.
Is it based
As
on
of
the
right
movie?
now, it's the lowest ever. So
I saw that. Was it like a 0.5 or something
I
like
think
that?
it's lower.
Yeah.
No, it's a 0.5. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
0.5.
That's pretty.
So
low.
just because it can move at all,
It's a lot
they
of hate.
gave it 0.5. Jeez, there's a lot of hate there. It can't be that bad of a game to begin with, but there's a lot of hate for like ruining someone's. I don't play Warcraft.
No one here plays it.
I don't play Warcraft
No,
3.
nobody here.
I understand the legacy that it has and like StarCraft and all that. Like those are big games in Korea.
Right.
And like all they did was make it like they just remastered it and just changed the graphics and made it look newer.
Mhm.
And I guess they did stuff that they didn't like in the process. Because if they just changed that and left everything perfect, they would have been fine. But I think they did some stuff like, let me see. It says
that fan base about to come after you.
it says it gets the worst remaster in the history of remasters from their
Wow.
fans.
Wow.
It says it forces them
That's
to download.
harsh.
So if you have the old game, it tries to force you to download the new game, which is a bitch. You can't do that. Like it says,
That is kind of
from a 2 gigabyte game, it forces you to download a 30 gigabyte game.
Oh,
all right. That's kind of annoying.
okay.
And it no longer has the options to play maps that have been custom models. So if you've been playing this stuff on your own time on fan made stuff, because obviously it's been done for a while,
Right.
all that's gonna be erased.
That sucks. That
Yeah.
actually sucks.
And it removes campaigns, like fan made campaigns and everything else like that. So,
I could see that.
I can see that.
I mean, that's a lot for that community. They're probably fucking
But-
enraged.
Again, like you were saying, like there's a team of people making that.
there's so
remaster.
much
So
hate
it's like,
though.
It's like you got to
So
think of the
unnecessary.
Listen, plus it's Blizzard, and Blizzard is in the best condition right now. I feel real bad for them,
Yeah.
but they made a lot of money. How bad can I really feel?
Damn.
Wow.
Oh,
No.
man.
Wow.
Damn.
But
The
no, I
faceless
mean,
corporation.
I hope they get better. I mean, the
It's
amount
cold in
of
this
shade being thrown at them is a little too much. I don't think that they deserve that. But I mean, I think they should take a step back and find out why they're getting this much hate and try and accommodate a little better, or at least like I don't know what they could do to get out of this one
Patch.
other than
Patch.
patch it or throw this one out.
Just throw some patches in there, man.
Give this to them for free
for
as
free.
a side game.
Limited
and
time
Let them
free.
keep their old game. Stop trying to take over that.
Right.
I don't know, but I know their servers get smashed, and it's not free. They can't do a free game like that. So I don't know. Put it on Game Pass, man.
Okay. Man, also, that community is so big, and
Yeah.
for them to rate it that low,
Mhm.
that says a lot.
Yeah.
I've never played a Warcraft game, and never will. But to be that upset
I
and
mean-
pissed off, that tells me there's some significant damage done to that game.
To get
Well,
a
think of-
0.5
Yeah, that tells
means
me,
that no one has given it a
because
good
I'm
rating.
trying to compare it to
Do
like
that.
if it's like a game, if it's a game that I like
Yeah.
and they took away that much, I
Yeah.
would probably do the same thing. Like it's I don't know. You guys play Warcraft?
Is that the game from South Park?
yes.
Yes.
That's what I picture. That is what I
I
picture
picture that
every
too.
time.
With
Every
the guy
time.
on the computer.
With the potato chip falling off.
Yeah.
Do you think it's right that it's getting that low of a score, regardless of what they've done?
I mean, it's tricky whenever you screw with, updating or going after something that people really, really have deep feelings for. We found that we did WayForward did the last Silent Hill game, and that was the one where that's got a really diehard fan base. And then Konami said, "Hey, let's not do the horror thing. Let's make it like Diablo, and let's make it multiplayer, and let's make it online and auto generate." Like, they changed everything that people loved about it. And so, even though I think the game that we did was pretty good as a game, people were just like ready to hate that. So we know that as a developer, anytime we do any sort of like remastering, like when we do DuckTales or whatever, we're really careful about what you update, what you change, what you keep the same, and definitely listen to the fans on that kind of stuff.
Even on something as exquisite as DuckTales, there was
Yes.
hate
Yes.
at certain things that were changed in there because you added voices. I was like, those are the real voices.
Yeah,
yo.
man.
That enhances the experience.
That was
The
awesome.
story in that was so much better. The graphics are so much better.
Mhm.
The added stages are so much better.
Got it right here.
And he's got it right here.
There it is, man.
And
For the Wii U.
a retail copy.
Yeah.
Retail copy.
Yeah,
Because
not
the
digital.
digital one is gone.
He bought that.
Hey, it's fascinating that people complain that there's voices in a game that was a remaster of a game based on a cartoon.
And voices.
So, and voices.
Yeah. They were legit voices too. They were the guy. That was the last voice that Scrooge McDuck did before he passed away.
Yeah,
the guy who did
and also Magica. Both for Magica and Scrooge, I think that our game was the last time they voiced those characters before
That's
they died.
crazy.
That's insane.
And that's the backlash. That's crazy. People, sometimes, like, I can get behind on some people's complaints and stuff like that, like the Sonic design, for the movie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when it's some shit like that, it's like, you guys just stop talking. Like, stop complaining about everything.
Right.
Like, I hate people that just think they could complain about stuff just to change things. Like, shut the fuck up.
I think a way to silence them on that hate would have been to actually have the old Capcom game in it also. But who knows?
Yeah, whatever, man.
You guys let me know how. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we consider stuff like that. Sometimes there's rights issues. Sometimes we have the rights to make the new game, but not the old game. But I mean, everything in any game is going to get somebody hating on it. Like for River City, the game that we did, almost across the board, one of the most unanimously beloved things is the soundtrack and the singing. And I went online a few days ago and someone's like, man, every time I hear those vocal songs, I just hate the game and I want to turn it off.
What?
And it's like, the exact opposite from everybody else. But it just proves no matter what you have in a game, someone's going to hate it.
Everybody happy, man.
oh yeah,
Can't please everybody.
you can never.
Never.
It's never 100%. And with the internet now,
Unlike The Last Jedi.
oh yeah, no, that's 100% hate. No.
Shaking the hornet's nest.
I don't think there's one person who said that they really enjoyed it. So
Hold on, with The Last Jedi?
That was-
fully enjoyed. I don't think there's one person I've met that said they fully enjoyed that movie.
Nah.
So
I saw it once. I think that's enough for me.
I liked half. Half of it was fine.
I didn't get to see it.
See?
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
I'm late.
before we go to the next subject, Adam, can you show him again?
What?
The thing I was going to do also?
Oh,
Little hand.
Oh, that was awesome.
Got him.
Yes.
I love it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, good timing. Good timing.
The Mickey Mouse thing.
That's perfect.
That's dope.
For all you podcast listeners, just watch it.
Yeah,
Just watch it on YouTube.
Just watch it on YouTube. That's all. That's all.
On to the next news.
Next news. Last news.
Okay. Wonderful 101 Kickstarter campaign raised more than $1 million in just over 12 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So that was a surprise to me
That's a surprise
Same
to me.
here.
because that game wasn't a huge success on the Wii U because of the Wii U, apparently.
Right.
Not a lot of people had access to it.
Well, actually, out of us, only one of us have played it. And
Turbo
he's not,
played.
and he's not here.
Yeah. The member who's not here
Yeah.
is a big fan of Wonderful 101, and I
Yeah.
watched him play it, and it's very Dreamcasty, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just
that's good.
it's very
I have it, and my kid loves it. It's good. It's a weird one though. I mean, especially from
Yeah.
Platinum, it's so different than everything else they do. It's a really good idea, and then you get into it, and some of it I think works better than others. But it's really good to see, because we did a good Kickstarter with Shantae. You did one before with River City Underground, and then we also worked on Bloodstain, which had a good Kickstarter, and so. It's good to see that there's still an appetite for that kind of stuff, because I think the worry is, some of the games that came out and they were mediocre, or some of them were high profile failures. There's always the worry that people are just going to say like, oh, screw Kickstarter, it's over and you can't do games anymore. So it's good to hear success stories like this, because then, it makes it viable for people, like especially indie games, to get on and get a budget when they don't have any other access to a budget for their game.
I think the thing that also helped with this is I never got to play it either because, it was the Wii U. Like, this game is so interesting. I would have loved to have played it.
Yeah.
And this is people's chance to actually play a version of this.
a lot of people had problems with there being a campaign for it because it was basically from known companies. So Platinum, obviously, they're making games everywhere, and they're highly successful.
Yeah.
And Nintendo actually had rights onto some of this also. So they're like, I'm paying this campaign to pay Nintendo? So why isn't this game being made and upgraded for these systems? So for the Switch, I can understand, but I heard that they went to ask, they wanted it to be on other systems, and because of that chunk that was Nintendo, they said, we'll fund it if it's on the Switch, But if it's not on the Switch, you want it on everything else, then you have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what I think this campaign is for, to get that part of Nintendo out of this equation. And so they can afford to be able to do it on something like one of the stretch goals was for PS4. And it hit that. So now you're going to see Wonderful 101 on PS4 and the Switch and PC so far.
Yeah.
So
No Xbox?
it's not
Hey,
over. They're
you
still
damn
making
right,
money.
no
He said PC.
Listen, the
He
stretch
said
goal.
He already said
you
PC.
can play it on the Xbox
Yeah.
PC.
He said
Microsoft.
PC. Remember.
Don't worry about it.
You're good. You're good.
You don't have to say Xbox anymore. It's
Oh,
PC.
it's
PC, yeah, Xbox. Oh yeah, you're right. Microsoft.
So that's awful. That's awful. But
Guys, the worst.
why couldn't you guys have worked on Mighty Number 9 on Kickstarter? Because this is what people think of when you think of Kickstarter
No, we didn't touch
and
that one.
failures. I know, because you guys did Blessed Thing, and that was a success. Thank you for doing that,
That
one
was an
because
awesome game.
that game was awesome. And I played the
That
hell.
was
I got 100% in
That
that.
was awesome.
I found everything.
Oh, nice.
That was an awesome game.
Yeah, and I was a Castlevania fan too, and that was very tried and true to what it's supposed to be. Not the Mega Man tried and true.
Yeah, because a lot of the games we do with Shantae and stuff, we're so influenced by those classic Castlevania, especially like Symphony and the DS games, and so us getting to work directly with Iga on his next thing was just like a dream come true. So that was really, that's pretty like god tier for like a WayForward production opportunity
Yeah,
for
keep
us.
that going.
He actually arrived here in a cloud of bats.
Weird. I can see that happening, which is weird.
I know we talked about this before, but I'd love to see a remaster or just a remake, pretty much, of Symphony of the Night.
Oh, beautiful.
Remember we talked about this animated?
That's
like,
Bloodstain.
Oh, beautiful.
No, I'm saying like that. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see that though remastered.
That'd be
So you guys, when the sequel's on its way, right? Implement more stuff for like Symphony of the Night.
Oh yeah.
Because we can't get
Wink,
Konami
wink.
to do that. Don't ask Konami to do a Castlevania game. Don't do that.
That's too much. You're asking too much.
And
They're
Unless you
working on
wanna
a sequel of Metamorphic Force.
Metamorphic Force. That's a good one.
So back to Wonderful 101.
I'm sorry.
101. I am looking forward to it, and I hope that it is more successful than it was on the Wii U. But I probably won't buy it myself. But I mean, there's enough people who already purchased it via
Yeah,
Kickstarter. So
it's
and actually, fun fact, it has done better through this short period of time on Kickstarter than the entire sales on the Wii U.
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
So good for them.
Yeah.
I hope to see it. I hope they do it. I hope it comes out.
And then they're talking about there was some more rumors news wise about Platinum Games. So they have a new website up that says a 4 on it, and one of the 4 was this announcement for Wonderful 101. And they're thinking that the other ones will be other remakes that they're trying to get out. You remember how Capcom did that for what was it? It was for the Xbox. They had like a Capcom 4. You probably don't remember because it wasn't a success.
Yeah.
But Resident Evil was one of them, and then they had this other one that's like a mech, like a Samus Aran looking game.
It was GameCube.
Oh, it was
It was
GameCube.
Resident Evil, Piano 3, which
Yes,
I
that was the
love.
one. And it was one.
And then one was like a dragon game that got canceled, and then I forget what the fourth.
Everyone
one
forgot the fourth.
Well, I know it wasn't the Alien versus Predator arcade.
No, it was not.
No, that game was so fun.
It was dope.
That game was
Has
fire.
that ever been released? Ever outside of the arcade?
No, I
Nope.
like
No,
a
right?
legit,
No.
like a legit release.
I don't think so.
No, I think Capcom's releasing it in some sort of compilations. at some
Was it in a
point.
compilation?
I don't
Yeah.
think Really?
Finally,
Yeah, I saw something about that, but I don't know if the actual game's in there. There was like a fighting stick with games in it or
Right,
something.
that was it. I
But
think
just
that was
art-
it.
I don't,
It was.
yeah, so I don't know. I think it was like a tease.
That's
and-
fucked up.
there will always be MAME, and that's the only way you're gonna play that. So
Emulation.
yeah, exactly. And
Do it.
I'll chat.
I don't know what that is.
Name? Yeah, you know. But shout out to the chat, by the way. And
Yeah.
my robot is asking about Scalebound. Ah, man. Platinum,
Scalebound.
Platinum is not doing no
Yikes.
Scalebound.
Yikes.
That was supposed to be an Xbox exclusive, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. it
Well,
was.
I mean, what
So
if
they
it?
axed that.
I mean, let's think hypothetically. What if it was part of that Platinum 4? That would be crazy if they just announced
that
it.
would be interesting, man.
That would be interesting.
I would get it.
And another one they were talking about hinting at maybe Beautiful Joe.
I heard a lot of Beautiful Joe lately.
Maybe
Yeah,
a
I heard
remaster of Beautiful Joe.
I heard a lot
And
of
it's stylistic, so they don't really have to do much to remaster
it's
that.
not-
Because it's all you gotta do is raise like you don't have to do anything graphically, just something
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
And then Okami 2, they were
Yeah,
hinting
here,
at, too.
Okami too.
So that being the 4, be interesting. Or hey, how about Bayonetta 3? How about that? How about showing something on that?
it's
but-
in the works, man. It's happening.
I know
You
it's in
guys
the works.
Take a deep breath, relax.
It'll come out when Metroid
Two
comes out the
times.
same
Be ready
day.
when it's ready.
Be
Oh,
ready when it's
man.
ready. You
The
want it
same
good.
day.
There's too many games right now. All right, just calm down. Catch up on all your backlog.
Hey, just show a picture. Just show a picture. That's all I
Oh my
ask.
god.
That's
Show
all.
another. Oh, sure.
Okay, so now let's get on to the
Yes!
meat and potatoes.
The main
right.
event.
That's
the main
right.
event of the night.
I'll put up that promo.
Oh, the promo?
Yeah, put up the promo. You're gonna just go right there again.
What are you talking about? This is it.
Let's see the promo.
This is it.
No.
This is the promo. This is it right here. Wait. Oh shit. Wait. Hold on. Oh, hold on.
There it goes.
Oh, there it goes.
you go.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's
we're
get
live.
on to the main event for the interview with WayForward.
I'm
here.
cut off, guys.
Adam and Bannon. Let's go.
Okay, can you go back to them now?
Now, there we go. Back to the back.
I'm back. I got it. I got it.
Yes.
Welcome.
All right. So anyone in the chat who's got questions, start typing them. We will get to them.
Yes,
please.
please.
Because we got some questions. And who wants to start out with some?
Let's see. If anyone can go before me.
I'll go. I have a.
I'll go. I get it.
I'll
I'll go. I
go.
like that one. That's good.
What was your biggest challenge during the development of River City Girls?
Working with this guy. I would say the biggest challenge was something that we talked about earlier was trying to win over Arc System Works, the people that do nothing but amazing fighting games, and then us having to follow up Dragon Ball Fighters with an actual fighting game beat 'em up brawler. But one of the best bits of news that we got, I don't know if Katie told us, but when she said like, oh yeah, they're passing the game around and they love it. Like in the office, like the Arc System Works guys and Dragon Ball Fighter people were passing the game around playing it, and they're like, yeah, we love this.
That's awesome.
That's how you know you're doing something
That
right.
feels good.
Yeah.
The combo system was
My heart cried that. I got it checked out because heart shouldn't cry. So.
Christ's blood.
Probably something.
Christ's blood.
But really just trying to develop a game that is for an audience that has no clue what River City Ransom is or was or what that series even is. I mean, it's been like, I think ours was the 49th title.
I think it's over 50.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've seen like 3.
Yeah.
Four tops.
But for the most part, people know River City Ransom and possibly Dodgeball. Other than that, they don't know anything.
Yeah.
So
So it's really crazy in so much as in the 35 years since they've been doing that game, it always looks the same. You look at like the most recent ones and it still has that NES style sprite. So
since '89.
yeah, this wasn't like a hard thing, but definitely one of the kind of most interesting things was that we picked something that visually was completely different than the first game and the 49th game and everything in between. And Arc was just like totally on board. They loved the style, they loved the personality, and they really let us kind of like go out and do our own thing visually, and it paid off.
It definitely was a huge upgrade, and it was
Yeah.
awesome to see that for a River City game because you are used to seeing it in that same graphic style. And you're like, okay, this is definitely River City.
Right.
It's the same scrunched up little guy, and you're used to that.
Yeah.
But that's like saying,
Yeah, and we like that too. Like we're big fans of that style. But the thing was with WayForward, especially not just developing it, but also like as the publisher in the US and Europe, we didn't want there to be any confusion where people would look at it and say, wait, did I already play that on 3DS or was that the last on PS4? We wanted it to be like so clearly different that people would immediately know this is a new WayForward style of that game. So that was a big part of it too. But we like that style. Like when you get the tutorials and it pops out, it's a little classic pixel art and stuff. So we look for opportunities to bring it back in.
well, it also had to be a big risk because that's like taking something like South Park and changing it. Or another one is like what was it? It was Powerpuff Girls. When they took that art style and they took it to Japan and they changed how it looked and made it manga or anime style. And that was
Thundercats.
Oh,
or
God.
Thundercats.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Oh,
for
man.
more backlash of hate. But it's very risky to change the art style based off something, especially from something that was like 40 games deep or 50 games deep. But hugely successful and worth the risk if it comes out like River City Girls.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I was a little hesitant to change it because it had been like ours would have been number 50 in the series, and I was like, oh, I don't think people are going to recognize this, but I mean, for the most part, it does pay a lot of homage to the original games.
Yeah, what I kind of learned from like Matt Bozon, he's our creative director, and he also directs all the Shantae games. He's kind of overseeing all of us individual directors. Is
He's
really
watching us right now.
Am I doing okay? But really, he had always said, just whatever the brand is, you really have to just lean into it and make it your own. And this is one where, we have so many characters. There's like 50 plus characters in the game, almost all of them from the old games. Like as we went, we were filling out bosses and shops and NPCs. We were like looking at the old catalog because there's hundreds of characters in those original games.
And also from Techno's game.
Yeah. And trying to bring them all in like as much as possible. But, it was important to give them their own spin. So characters have different looks than the old games. They have different personality. Like they might have been a sweetheart in this one, but they're an asshole in this one, because we're kind of playing different personalities. And again, it was awesome that ARC let us do that because this is their brand. This is their baby. They've been doing the games for like the last 5 or 6 years. And they really let us kind of reinvent it and make it our own.
That's awesome.
That's really, really cool.
We do have a question from the chat.
What confused the hell out of me in the game itself was the names, because I was like, who are these guys who get kidnapped? Because they were called something different. And I didn't know their names. Like, I guess they were the Japanese names still, right?
Kunio and Ricky.
Yeah, but they were named different in the Nintendo one and stuff.
Alex and Ryan.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, I don't know who you guys are, but these girls are trying to save you. And my boys might pop up here at some part in the game because it's River City. So I didn't realize that till way later in the game that those were the guys. And I was like, oh, okay, now it makes sense.
Well, I had to watch a video on YouTube to actually...
Well, I didn't know the introduction to them.
Yeah, I didn't know it either because I just know the US NES River City. So I just know Alex and Ryan. I saw Alex and Ryan. And I'm like, Kunio and Ricky. I'm like, who are these guys? Why do they look the same? And I'm like, is this them when they were younger? I'm like, I'm so fucking confused.
They changed their names.
And then I went on that, some dude did like someone did a history video.
Of it.
And I said, I'm an idiot. I'm such an idiot.
But then you see the introduction of the girls.
We had a lot of conversation about that during development because we were talking, should they be Alex and Ryan? Should they be Kunio and Ricky? And I think ultimately we kind of figured, since we were going really hard into like the anime style, that probably we'd have more fans that are, and also since, like you guys mentioned, there's 50 games in Japan, but here there's only like a dozen or so. So we figured we're leaning really heavily into the Japanese side. So maybe it makes more sense. Maybe we'll appeal to more of like kind of the hardcore fans if we kept them with the classic names. But yeah, we discussed that back and forth. It's also tricky because a lot of the characters that are in the game have no English name because they don't even exist. Like Kyoko has never been in a US game. Masako's been in a few of them. Mommy was Roxy and Cindy. Yeah. But like, so we decided it was cleaner and easier for us, and it kind of felt more, true to the anime style to do the Japanese name. But the thing that we did that was a little bit of concession is we have like the lazy like English pronunciations of them because I wanted them to just sound like American characters, so they're like hey, what's up, Masako? I didn't want it to have that thing where it's like, hey, what's up, Misako? Where they're inverting it for like 2 syllables. So everybody has sort of like a laid back kind of Western pronunciation.
That's cool. Awesome. That's really, really cool.
What was the question in the chat?
We're gonna jump right into it. Are there sequel plans in development?
Oh, already?
Dang.
Yeah, that was
quick.
Well,
trying to
we're definitely discussing stuff. I hope the game reviewed pretty well and sold pretty well, and ARC's happy, WayForward's happy. We're definitely discussing what we could do, whether that's DLC, whether it's sequel, whether it's other games in this brand. But I think generally the feeling between WayForward and ARC is that this little experiment paid off, and so everybody's very interested to do more of it, and also just looking at it's kind of funny, like the characters when we wrote the story, Bannon and I did the story, Masako and Kyoko, they're just kind of dorky,
they're in one game. Really.
Yeah, but in our game they're kind of dum-dums, and they're just kind of dorky characters. We didn't plan on people totally falling in love with them, so there's been so much fan art and so much cosplay. A little bit, but I was surprised at how emotionally invested people are, in what's going on with them. And so, having that sort of reaction, I've never had a game I worked on where it had this much cosplay and fan art and fans, loving the characters and caring about the storylines and stuff like that. So, yeah, if we can get back to that, hopefully soon, we would love to re-examine this stuff, do more sequels, more DLC, all that stuff.
Awesome.
Part 4 will take place in space.
Yes,
because that's what you have to always
exactly.
do.
That's part 4. Yeah,
just one stage.
Critters in space, Leprechaun in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Jason in space. Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. They took my question from the chat. Actually,
Well, we were obviously going to get to the sequel question.
But I will say just as a teasing thing, there were specifically high profile, like beloved Kunio characters that Bannon and I did not put in the first game because we wanted to have some of those like really upper tier Kunio characters available for sequel. So if you look at if you look at like, hey, why didn't they put in this guy or this guy or this girl? Some of those were like very meticulous because we wanted to not get to a sequel and then just be like scraping the bottom of the barrel of like background character in one sports game or something.
Smart.
That's smart. All right. It's kind of like how you didn't see, like I said before, how you didn't see Venom and all the other characters in Spider-Man. Because they can't use everybody.
That's right.
That's true.
That's right. All right. So what's the question?
I have a question right before my bathroom break, because this is what happens when you drink 3 beers in a podcast. I didn't wear my diaper.
You sure?
Not this time.
He's not going to.
I'm actually joking. I'm joking. With tons of throwback references in River City Girls, especially one that stood out to me was the Double Dragon neon references all over the game that had me laughing my ass off. Actually, I don't want to ruin anything for anybody.
Yeah, don't ruin.
But there's just tons of references from Double Dragon Neon. I'm a huge Double Dragon fan.
I'm a fan.
Is there any hint or hope that we can actually get a River City Double Dragon merger of some sort in the future?
Well, I mean, they're in, there's several characters in this game, as you guys mentioned. No, what was really nice is, so we pitched, the way this game happened is we pitched ARC and we basically said, hey, we want to do the girls version. This is very much based on like the Super Nintendo version in Japan, which had Masako and Kyoko, and they liked the pitch. Once we got into the specifics of it, they're like, oh, but you can use any of that old techno stuff. So they gave us total freedom to use Double Dragon. That's why, some of the characters like Bobo is one of the bosses and stuff. And we have all these secondary characters from Neon, Combat Tribes, really even super obscure. Like, do you remember what Waver?
I knew there was Combat Tribes in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bolova.
Yeah, Bolova, and also Martha Splatterhouse, something like that.
Yeah.
So two of them are the shopkeepers, but yeah, they were letting us play with it, and then our producer at ARC really got like super deep into it.
Yeah, he. That's the thing I liked about working with ARC on specifically River City, just games like Kunio-ken games, is they are super fans. Mm-hmm. Like, they actually told us, no, this person goes to this school. You should use this character from this obscure Famicom game. Like Waver, the girl with the dice, she's in some weird Waver's Race.
It's like some questy, like dice rolling NES game.
Wow. Never even seen it. They're super.
Yes. Yeah. No, and even when you watch the cinematics, and it's like, Kyoko's like, I don't even go to this school, and then Masuzu's like, I'm here as a part-time job. Those were like band-aids because we just had them all going to the same school, and then they said, "No, this person's school, this person's school." So we had to keep all the consistency.
That's right. Wow. That's where those little jokes came.
Yes. That's what I'd be dying. That was very funny.
Oh man.
Before you pee yourself, or during, whatever.
Too late.
in Underground, you can actually play as the Double Dragon guys.
Whoa,
Wait.
No,
Wait. Since when?
Since the beginning of that game.
What? Why did I not
I
know about
think
this?
he just peed himself. Just
Why
now.
is he yelling?
I think he just peed himself. Did you
Wait,
just pee yourself?
Wait, are they like secret or something, or like?
They play like they have every single Double Dragon move, but they play essentially like Double Dragon 2, where they have the front and back.
Oh shit!
Oh, that was
Look what you did.
That was a bomb drop.
Damn,
oh my
man,
God.
I didn't even know.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
So that was a bomb drop for him.
While he's in the bathroom, I have another question from the from the chat from Danny Phantom. He was asking about DLC. He was wondering if Shantae will possibly be in the game, if at all possible.
Nothing we can announce. We have considered all kinds of characters for the game. So yeah, we've talked about WayForward characters. We talked about other art characters. It's all in discussions. So
That's an interesting character, though.
for the non-answer, but yeah.
The non-answer usually hints at an actual answer, but I'm going to leave that up to everyone else to
It's
decipher.
been discussed. It's definitely
So
been
that's-
discussed.
it's
Yeah.
been
'Cause,
discussed.
that's one of the things. Once we announced it, Shantae has an anime style, and also we were doing anime intro. So we saw, believe me, the hundreds, if not thousands, of fans saying, "Is Shantae going to be in this game?" So definitely something we've discussed.
She's a girl.
She's a girl. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So we also wanted to know, like, I don't know, he already asked if there was a Double Dragon crossover that could happen.
Yeah.
So there is a title. There's a game that's rumored, or they had a picture of it. It was the River City Collection, and well, basically it's like a Technos collection. So it was like the 3 Double Dragons and a whole bunch of River City games, or that universe. There were some games missing, like the ones with the River City girls in it, which would have introduced them that we missed, which would have been awesome to have in there. But can you tell us anything about that, and about that coming, if it's coming to America? Because the titles were in English.
So yeah, we don't know anything about that. Like inside baseball, like with ARC, we're just seeing the same kind of things you guys are. But I mean, we were really deep into the Kunio stuff while we were making the game, and in Japan they had the collection of the 10 NES games, and then later they had the collection of the 10 NES games with the Americanized version, so like Crash and the Boys and stuff like that. So as far as I can tell, I think this looks like just kind of getting all those translated and coming over here, because it seems like it's the same kind of titles. And if that's the case, that's why it wouldn't have the Masako Kyoko game, because that was a Super Nintendo game. I think all of these are the NES. It's all the 8-bit thing, but that's just from what I can tell. We don't have any like inside info on it.
I've had it for like a month.
No inside info. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, there's a lot of games in it. Kind of set up like a Super Nintendo Mini.
Okay,
That's cool.
nice. So what is the connection between River City and Double Dragon? Because there's moves in this game. I know Double Dragons aren't in this as playable characters, but the moves that you have in the game, they pretty much have the whole move set from Double Dragon 2 in there, and that, in particularly the knee and the sound.
Yep.
And we thank you so much for putting that sound in the game.
That we lost our we have the playthrough on our channel. When we heard the sound that you kept from the original Double Dragon 2 with the knee, I lost my mind. I lost it completely. I said, "Yo, my god!"
That was one of the very first attacks that we put in with the first prototype, and yeah, it was you had put that in the moveset, and so obviously we had to, we grabbed that sound directly from the NES game, gave it to Kevin, our audio guy, and put it in. But no, stuff like that is just such an expectation. Like it would be ridiculous if it made any other sound when you're doing that.
The knee can never have a different sound ever. I don't care what system it's on; it can never have a different sound.
Yeah, because there was another game of not as good quality called Double Dragon 4.
Oh no!
And they put moves in there, and there's a knee in there, and it wasn't the same.
No,
it wasn't the same.
The connection of River City Ransom and Double Dragon, it all started in the original one, because you do fight 2 characters that come out to the Double Dragon theme called the Dragon.
Twins,
Yes.
That's right. Where you fight Simon or Yamada, whatever you want to call
Ryuji and Ryuchi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from that, when I did Underground, I demanded that I was like, this was when Million is one half of Technos. So Technos made all these games. They split into Atlas and Million. Million kept, I believe, Double Dragon and River City Ransom, while Atlas took all the sports titles.
Million did the Kunio-kun games up until Arc got it, right?
So yeah, Arc took over, but it was talking to the people that created Bobo and everything. I was like, I see this as kind of like one universe. Like these characters all need to mingle together. That's why Bobo's in there. Once that opened up, it was like, just to me, River City Ransom and Double Dragon are just synonymous. Like they need to be together. So it be it with characters or moves, they're the same universe.
Okay.
It was fun to really kind of build the world too. So people have asked us like, well, what's going on? Is this game taking place in America? Is it in Japan? Because we see like, you know, we see kind of like Malibu areas and we see like Akihabara areas, and the answer is, oh, it's River City. It just takes place in River City.
Easy answer.
It's like
we wanted to just shovel in like influence from like, you know, anything we like. But yeah, it's not in Japan or in the US. It's in River City.
That's when we just kiss it lips.
Exactly.
All right.
That's awesome. Perfect answer.
Yeah.
The best answer.
All right. And I got
Oh, and then also just real quick, the one other thing that occurred to me since you were talking about sound effects, one of Kyoko's moves, which is the kind of the Chun-Li style rapid kick.
Yep.
There's two different things she can say. One of them is just like, you know, generic kind of like hi-ya type stuff. But then one of them is the like that. Yeah. And it's part of the reason is the actress Kira is the biggest JoJo fan I've ever known entire life, and so she absolutely nailed the delivery of that. And that's one of the funniest things. Every time I'm watching a Twitch stream and that move plays and it plays that sound effect, everyone always loses their shit until they just start.
Nice.
That's
cool.
so awesome.
Are you guys wrestling fans
Yes.
also? Okay, I figured. There it is. So yes, the stunner is in there. Power bombs are in there. The
Wait.
He Who Shall Not Be Named Benoit, German suplex is in there. But then if you use Ricky, also Ryan, you'll see Ric Flair's cheap shot nut kick.
Yes.
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 So there's a lot of reference throughout the whole game.
I love it. I love it all.
Oh
You
man,
can
That is
definitely
awesome.
see that in Underground also.
Hell,
There's a ton of that in Underground. Ton of that in Underground.
Yes.
So
Yeah, Bannon has seen a wrestling match or two.
Yes. I've been in
I have a proposal.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh boy.
all kinds
Oh
of
dear.
proposals.
Oh dear.
All kinds of proposals.
You got to put level 857 in the next game
It's like-
as bosses. What, man?
You always ask the same question every time.
It's always relevant.
gonna happen.
Somebody will do it.
Somebody's gonna do it. You're
Someone's
right.
gonna, someo's gonna
It'll
bite.
happen one day. I guess.
If
Speaking
not,
into
if
existence.
not bosses, then like in the crowd and the side
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least.
Man, listen, I'll be a shopkeeper. I'll be a shopkeeper. That's cool.
Shopkeepers are very special.
I'm not special. That's
I just
want
want to wear a purple cape and
Not
get beat
that
up.
one.
I'm cool with it.
You'd be a henchman.
No. I gotta be a boss, bro. I can't be a henchman.
I'll take a henchman, dude. I'll be a henchman.
I'll be a henchman.
Okay, I'll be. Whatever.
We'll see what you do.
Just beat me up.
So I have a
A
question.
legit question?
I have a
Okay.
legit question.
Okay, I'm sorry.
feel free to put us in if you
Oh,
want.
my God.
But WayForward and Arc Systems work seems like a match made in heaven. So how important is animation to you in your projects? Because you see it in all the WayForward's work. Like animation is like top notch.
Yeah.
So how important and obviously Arc Systems Works are king of animation also. So put that together and you get River City Girls and no complaints in the animation department. It's ridiculous. So how do you guys feel?
So it was interesting, yeah, because we always are known for good animation. The way we did animation, the way we did the character design in this game and the backgrounds looks different from anything we've ever done before. And in part, this is kind of like showing, you know, under the hood, it's to make it easier to animate. So if you look at the characters, they don't have outlines, they don't have tons of dithering. Same thing with like the backgrounds. It's like very flat shaded, and we like that style. We use artists that had that style, but it's also just to get a bunch of stuff cranked out. And then you can talk about, you know, Kay and the process, because yeah, basically Bannon doing the combat worked with our lead animator Kay, and
Yeah, so I would draw out the moves, just like doing keyframes, whatever. because I believe that's a much easier way to, instead of saying like, oh, they do a roundhouse. It's like, is this a low roundhouse? Is it a high roundhouse? Middle? Like that really does affect where hitboxes are and everything. So, but once we found Kay, I barely had to draw anything anymore. Like Kay is the lead animator. I would say 80% of this game is his animation. Mine is like % in there. Like all I did for the animation was, we did get the backgrounds, but I noticed that they weren't moving.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go in there and like animate the waves of the ocean and just like stuff like that. But Kay is pretty much River City Girls animation. Then we had Chris Kurligan jump in, and he started doing a lot of the enemies.
Yeah. Where did like what I love about it, and also because I was more on the story side and the audio VO side, and so I would just kind of see a lot of the end result of what Bannon and Kay came up with in terms of attacks and animations. Where did most of the absurd stuff come from? Like Kyoko can dab enemies to death.
That's sick.
Was most of the stupidest stuff in the game or the goofiest stuff, is that more you or Kay or both of you?
I mean, it's probably on my phone. There's a lot of footage of me doing these moves being recorded in these moves. So yeah, it's weird making video games for a living. When I come up with the dab attack, I had an actual like mini meeting thinking of what can Masako have that's as dumb and absurd as the dab. I had an actual meeting about like, should she floss? Is that going to hit like enemies at the board?
That's kind of
that's pretty funny, man.
That was an actual mini meeting.
That's funny.
That's pretty hilarious, man.
That would have been a killer move.
Yeah, right?
Not a dab. I use that a lot.
So,
I use a dab a lot. Oh man,
That's dope.
But
the dab actually used to be a lot. Like she used to just stay there for like 3 seconds and wind would blow through her.
Like a charge up move.
Oh man.
if you kill him with a dab, that should happen.
Oh man,
That was a good touch.
that's hilarious.
That was really funny.
I have another question from the chat.
Yeah.
One robot's asking, being lovers of animation, what were their impressions of Indivisible, the hand-drawn and animated action RPG from Lab Zero Games, the creators of Skullgirls? Did you guys check that out?
Yeah, we're
Indivisible.
good friends with them actually. Yeah, so the creative director of the company and the lead animator is Mariel Cartwright.
And they're local too.
Yeah, they're local. And she's done a ton of stuff for us. Like I think in Half Genie Hero, some of the animations of Shantae were done by Mariel, and she worked on Wonder Momo, and we use her for like concept art pitches for going back at least like a decade or so. So they're good friends. We love them, and that's one of the reasons why Shantae is gonna be in that game, is because Matt Bozon has a very high level as far as like standards for use of his character and making sure it's at a good quality of animation level. We knew that they were going to knock it out of the park. So we love Lab Zero. We love Skullgirls. We've been following most of those guys since Scott Pilgrim and before. So we're old
Scott
for them.
Pilgrim is so good.
I did get invited to Lab Zero because they're local. Like, you're the River City guy. Come on over. I didn't know who Muriel was, and I saw on her screen just like background art.
Yep.
And I was just like, like looking around. I was like, "Oh, are you a background artist?" And she just turned to me and went, "Oh." I turned around. I think from then she just.
Yeah, she basically she animates. She does the roughs of I think every frame of animation and everything they do. Wow. And then with Indivisible, she's also the art director and took on all this stuff. But yeah, she's amazing. That whole group is amazing. And it's fun and funny. You guys have mentioned the Sonic thing before. Fun fact: she's married to Tyson Hesse, who was the guy who redesigned Sonic. So if you like the way he looks now in the movie.
Shit.
He's the one that brought in to like do it right because he's famous from doing the Sonic comics and
What?
Wow.
He kicked ass.
Small
Look at
world.
that, man.
Did a hell of a job.
Yeah, he did a
man.
hell of a
He
job.
saved the movie.
Yeah.
Speaking of small world, we did an interview with Jesus Lopez, who also worked.
Oh yeah.
WayForward on a couple of titles.
Yeah.
A Boy and His Blob and DuckTales. He said so.
Yeah.
Talented.
Yeah,
I've heard Legend of Jesus.
Yeah, he's awesome. He did most of the craziest DuckTales animations, like Scrooge getting eaten by the plant and stuff. That's all him. And if you go back to like our Batman game on Nintendo Wii, The Brave and the Bold, all the crazy like swirly crazy camera sequences, it's all Jesus.
Me and Turbo played that. Wow. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
And we also interviewed Megan McDuffie.
Yeah, Megan McDuffie.
For the music.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
So how did that come about? That type of music in this game? Do you have any insight of how that was chosen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it all. So basically, again with River City, I didn't want to just lean on the talent we use for other games. So it's like all new artists, all new animators. We hired all new HUD, all new music, and so I knew I wanted Chipsel to do the music for the bosses, and so because I love her for a long time, I've loved her video game soundtracks, and so we knew that since that was a very retro, chunky chiptune sort of feel, we wanted somebody to balance that out. And so I had never worked with Megan, but our friend Dale North, who also did some of the music on this, he did the fake arcade songs. I said, hey, do you know anybody who could do stuff more symphonic and more kind of, opposite of what Chipsel did? And he recommended Megan. And we were just blown away by her samples. And I remember we did the first like audition piece, and she's doing it, and she's like, hey, do you want me to sing on this? And we're like, can you? And she's like, oh yeah, totally. And we're like, all right, why don't you do that? And then once she turned that in, which I think it was Unseen on the soundtrack, it's almost
my favorite. Unseen's my favorite. Yeah.
That was her audition piece. Once she did that, we're like, all right, you're singing on everything. We're like, oh yeah. So I think she did something like a dozen vocal songs in the game. Yeah, we were in love. I think Megan on music, Kay on animation, Jeremy on HUD and UI. Like there's a couple people that we were working with for the first time that just totally created the personality of this game. Priscilla, all of the high-res character designs are by this artist named Priscilla. But yeah, we had some amazing people on this game.
Mind you, Megan was churning these out fast too.
Oh yeah.
It was just like hit after hit.
Yeah, I think she did 50 songs on the soundtrack.
Yeah, it was
ridiculous.
insane. And it was out of what, 60?
She did more than
50?
that,
Yeah.
One thing about her too is she has done like movie trailers and stuff like that. She can do so much more than what you've just heard in the soundtrack for River City Girls.
Oh yeah, just go to her website and you can see on her website that she does all types of background music, the soundtracks.
And her EP was dope too.
Yeah.
And she's really prolific too, because that was the other thing. I remember when we first started working with her, we would say, oh yeah, go check her out on Spotify. And she had like, one or two albums there. And then when the game came out, I'm like, oh yeah, go check her stuff out. And then out of nowhere, she has like a dozen albums and hundreds of tracks. She's that girl is always working.
Yeah, she said she'll do 100 for the sequel if you need it.
That's so cool.
You guys. Oh, go ahead.
I know. I'm saying that's what makes the game so special is that everything just came together on it, from the character design to the animation to the music.
Perfect storm.
The story. Everything just came together, and it's just a very charming, pleasurable experience for everybody, and everyone fell in love with it. You know, and for me, who was skeptical at the beginning, like I don't know what this is. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and just play it. And be like, all right, I'm completely wrong. Whatever the hell I was talking about, because it's a beautiful game.
The second it starts, you're drawn in for the whole time.
In the first 5 minutes of the game.
I got a question. Whose idea was it to put in the Arnold Schwarzenegger voice? Because when we played Double Dragon 2 and we fought the fake Arnold Schwarzenegger guy, we used to do that voice all the time.
Yeah, I'm like, that's Arnold. It's Arnold.
All the time.
And then they came out in the game. We're like, we had to pause the game. We're like, hold on. Every time we hit this guy, he's like, I'm like, no way. No way.
You guys want to know a secret?
Yes. It was you, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's your voice. It's your voice. You know what's funny? Before you asked that, I said, watch it be him. Watch it be him. I guarantee.
Oh, it's magic. It's magic.
Adam and I both up in the game a couple times. I am the puberty guy.
Yes.
The schoolboy, the bad cop.
Oh, what the? That guy?
And what else did I do? Oh, I'm one of the store clerks at the Pasties place.
Yeah, no, basically we recorded all the VO, and then it's like, oh shit, we forgot to record all the male enemy voices, and so was Bannon, myself, and Chris, another guy who works here.
The guy that played a Bobo in that little short you watched.
Yeah, so Chris did Tiger Man and the Thug. Everybody loves the Thug. best friends for life. Everybody loves that. I don't remember. I did Trash and the Yakuza
Male.
Christina did some of them. Yeah, that was fun.
That's great.
But yeah, I love the slurring, and then of course the way it works is basically Bannon would get in the booth and just record, for 15, 20 minutes, and then it goes to our sound guy Kevin, who is just amazing at choosing takes and cutting things out. And I love that. I love the slurred lines where it's like not quite hasta la vista, but it's just like
Close enough.
It's funny too. One of the things our visual effects guy Joel is very proud of is when you daze an enemy, they get stars floating above their head. When you daze one of the fake Arnolds, they get little ones and zeros floating above their head.
Oh wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, technically that character's name is Abor, and he's from Double Dragon 2, the NES version.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. And that's the same voice you gave us.
On
That's what's crazy about it.
The steam train, whatever the hell that thing was. Yeah. We recognized that in 2 seconds. 2 seconds we recognized it.
And one time it kept repeating that voice. And we were dying. Like he was like in a window. He was stuck on the other side of the room, and the voice just kept going. And I was like, just leave it.
We couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, this is...
Because I actually had to be the one that implemented each of those sounds, like the file itself. There's one when I said laser beam, but he doesn't shoot laser beams. But I just liked it so much that I just kept it in there.
Laser beams.
Oh man,
that's great.
Oh man,
that's awesome.
Oh my god, that game is such a trip. Such a trip, I swear to God.
So
you have a question?
I was gonna just quickly ask. So we can't talk about sequels here. What about Double Dragon Neon? Is there any talk about making that a continued series or a Double Dragon at all?
Yeah, no, I mean, and we could talk about sequels. It's just it just comes down to like what we can announce, and there's nothing to really announce yet. But no, Double Dragon, especially Arc loved Neon, which was great because that was before we were working with them directly. We did Neon through Majesco, but when we started this game, so the just a minor spoiler, but the Skullmageddon being in this game, that was actually Arc. Arc actually said to us, hey, can you put that character in? And we're like, oh yeah, sure. And then we got Sean Velasco, who's now at Yacht Club, to do the voice because he did the original voice and he was great. But yeah, I think Arc was big fans of Neon. They actually published the Japanese version later on after the fact. And so getting those characters in here was awesome. And definitely, I think, I would love to see us do another game, whether it's something that is like a Neon 2 or whether it's something that's the River City versions of Billy and Jimmy, or whether it's something totally brand new. But, that's a really good brand. That's one that we love, as much as Kunio-kun. So, fingers crossed. We're definitely talking about stuff and coming up with ideas, and hopefully that could be the kind of thing that we talk about with Arc and see if we can make something happen.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I mean, yeah, trust us, we want to make it.
We fell in love with Double Dragon Neon from the second stage music, Mango Tango. That's what kind of that's what kind of got us. Like as soon as we played River City Girls, it gave us that same feel of Mango Tango, and we're like, oh my god! I'm like, this is the same feel of Double Dragon Neon, and if they made a second one or anything, like you just said, if they made like some sort of anything involving the Double Dragons, obviously we'd be all over it. But going to River City Underground, Bannon, you said you worked on River City Underground.
Maybe.
Yes.
This is your baby. No, I've always been complaining for a long time about this coming to the Switch or anywhere else. Do you know anything about if that's going to happen, or is there any?
It'll never happen.
Never?
Nope.
No.
Well, that was quick.
That's it.
All right.
I even had my Twitter for a while there just pinned. It's not going to happen. If you ask me about it, I'm going to ignore this question.
Oh shit! Well, you know what? That's perfect because
from a legal standpoint, it just
can't happen.
It would pretty much be me having to quit here to work full time. To just like it just won't happen.
What if
unless somebody gave us like $1 million and they didn't get that money back?
Okay. What if
It just can't happen.
Okay.
Ah, damn it. I was gonna say, what if Arc Systems paid them?
What
digital?
Well, one thing to keep in mind too, though, is that with River City Girls, we have characters that we created for it, like Noise and Sabako and stuff like that. Like a lot of the bosses, a lot of the enemies, all those fold back into the Kunio-kun brand. So you're actually seeing Arc just released a game called Code Shifter, and it's got our versions of Masako and Kyoko in it. So they're all part of the brand at this point. So whether or not there is ever a chance to get back to Underground, and that was not a WayForward game, so that would ban more about us. But those characters are all part of the Kunio canon now, and so that could be a possibility. Is like the same way that we looked at super obscure Super Famicom games. We're looking at stuff in Underground. We're looking at stuff in any of the River City games, and any of that could feed back into future RCG stuff and other WayForward stuff.
I'll just say this. Trust me, like if I could get it on one of the highest selling consoles ever made and actually still get my percentage, why would I not?
Exactly. Well, I'm very.
I would love it.
Yeah. No,
So what if there was a spiritual successor to Underground and Vein of Underground on one of your sequels?
River City Girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that answers that.
River City,
This guy's good.
basically, that's what the game was, and that's what early discussions me and Bannon, when we were just thinking about combat, was we looked at what he did on Underground. I think for me, and all throughout the 4 games that for me were kind of the influencer, was looking at what you did on Underground, what they did in the first River City Ransom game, which is the second game in the series, what they did in the Super Nintendo game with Kyoko Masako, and then also
What's it called? I never get it right.
the last part is Tachi no Banka.
Yeah, I just call it no Banka.
That one, and then also Double Dragon 2, of course, because we had like a heavy focus on that. So looking at all of those games, cramming them together, pulling stuff out of it in terms of like depth of combat and style of combat, and then also knowing that we were going to hit a very wide, more casual audience. So like Underground is crazy in the amount of depth of the juggling and the combat and stuff like that, and we actually ended up getting a lot more of that in by the end than I thought. But we knew we wanted to have something that was very superficial and very easy for anybody to play. And so I love the combat system Bannon came up with. It's got so many different attacks, but almost everything is just single direction, single button. There's no swishes or quarters or like crazy holds or anything like that. So, we wanted players to be able to, if you buy the move, you can pull the move off. But yeah, definitely some DNA from Underground in there, definitely from Double Dragon 2, River City Ransom, all that stuff.
Yeah, and also influences from what we talked about earlier was Alien vs. Predator Arcade with the juggling in there. Very super easy to pull off. But also Dragon's Crown, and then a little bit of Smash, because Smash is just you press one button, and just a direction. Yep. Easy. You don't need to do
and the same
all
thing,
these motions.
Same thing with Fighters at the same time, because we're playing Fighters. So even aside from the VFX stuff, I love Dragon Ball Fighters because you are pressing one button, you're pressing up and A and whatever, and you're pulling off these crazy moves. So that was just so smartly done, and that definitely influenced us.
There's a combat system that I call, or just in general, not just combat, but just gameplay. And I've talked to you about it, called Little Brother, Big Brother.
Yep.
So Big Brother, he knows how to do, like if he's playing Street Fighter V, he knows to jump in with a roundhouse. He knows how to do like a light or a jab into a medium, but then go into a fireball, cancel that fireball, and do like a dragon punch into his ultra. Well, Little Brother might just jump in with a roundhouse and do a ducking roundhouse. He's ignorant to the fact that he can do more, but he's still having fun.
Yep.
So Little Brother just has to hit quick attack. And that's all. He can occasionally hit heavy attack, but Big Brother knows down and heavy is going to launch the character. I can juggle them up in the air. So Little Brother and Big Brother, they can play together, and they're fine.
That's an interesting way.
Okay.
It's very, very
I like it. I like it.
So I got an easy one. River City World, 4 players with the guys and the girls together. I'm sure you thought about this. I'm sure. There's nothing new. But that would be awesome. It would be awesome to see happen.
Nice pitch. I'm sure
It's way out there.
So a lot of the art games, they did River City Melee, and they had like an updated to that. They're going crazy into some of that stuff. I think that's on PS4 as Melee. They're doing 4-player arena brawlers. They've got like hundreds of characters. So, I mean, definitely anything that's suggested by the fans, we hear. So, people want online play. People want, 4-player multiplayer. People want, the story to change by character. Like all of that we're taking in. And as we think about future things we could do with the game, that's all, as much as we can. It's going to influence some of our design decisions, I'm sure.
I mean, we have to play this game. We want everything in it.
Which is impossible. But yes, we appreciate it all.
All right. So we're giant fans of these games. But going back to a question I had right before I used the bathroom.
Oh, gosh.
All right. River City Underground. How do you unlock the double dragons? Like, what's going on? Is this you just lying to me? You just messing with me? Because, like, the fact we would joke around about this, like, oh, that'd be cool if they were in the game. Now, if you're just playing around with me, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cruel, man. Like,
I made this, and it's been a bit. I believe. Have you beaten the game?
No.
Probably got to beat the game.
Okay. At one point, you were going to see Bimmy or Jimmy in a house. Just attack.
Just attack him.
Yep.
That's it?
As far as I can remember, it's been like 3 or 4 years now, but I believe just attack him.
Wow. Oh, shit. Wow.
So we're going to have to get everybody together.
Yo, like,
get our USB control pads, go on the computer, and play the 4 players together.
And stream it.
And stream it and do that.
I'm about to do this like tonight.
So I got another question. So this is for Adam. Over the years, you developed a huge array of different types of titles. You said you were in charge of picking those titles. How did you get the company not to pigeonhole themselves in certain genres? So what's the deciding factor on the direction you want to go? Because WayForward games are completely different. Looking at the
So like there's been like a big shift. So I've been here for 15 years. Most of my time has been as a director. So I've directed like a dozen games here. I did Batman, Silent Hill, River City. I've done like a little bit of everything, and I've helped out on games like Contra and stuff like that. Previously, WayForward tended to do a lot of kids games, also like Barbies and SpongeBob's, and it was because you just needed, like, companies needed a game in a box. It's like, I don't care, whatever you do, just like put a game in there so we can put it on a shelf. That sort of died out like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. So now it's all about like, older gamers, digital content, downloadable content. And so that puts us more in the driver's seat on what to go after. And so what I do now is I still direct games sometimes, but I do what's called biz dev. That means I'm the one that's putting stuff together. So, for example, you guys said like, man, WayForward should make a Double Dragon game. So I'm the guy that then, if we want to do that, reaches out to ARC, says, hey, can we do this? Figures out who's paying for it, figures out, how the size of the game and the budget and all that kind of stuff, gets everything together. And then once that package is together, and it gets greenlit, then it gets kicked to someone like Bannon to direct the game from that point on. So that's, since I've been given that kind of opportunity, I think about 4 years ago, I'm chasing after the stuff that is just the craziest, most hardcore stuff that our fans want to see. So stuff like River City Girls, stuff like Double Dragon, DuckTales, things that are really classic game brands. I can't even mention like obvious ones we would go for because we're going for them right now. If you guys said, oh man, can you do this and this and this and this? If you mentioned 10 games, we're probably pursuing like 5 or 6 of them. But that's...
Do you want to test this?
No,
well, we don't react.
No, because I'll have to react. I'll see it on my face.
You want to give an exclusive? You want to give
any
an exclusive?
Like classic, super beloved brand, especially if they haven't done one recently, we're chasing all that stuff. We're talking to Capcom, Konami, Sega, Nintendo, Microsoft, like everybody. We're talking with them, like, hey, can we do this? And what's cool is we have people on the other end, like at a Sega or Capcom, saying, oh my gosh, I remember that game. We should totally do that together. And when the stars align, we get to do that. So some of the stuff you guys are going to see coming out from WayForward, especially going into like early 2021 and late 2021, is going to be some of the most like hardcore classic gamey brands that's based on either NES stuff or anime that we love or like classic cartoons. It's like, that's the stuff that we're really digging into right now. And kind of like stuff like River City Girls is kind of the start of that, I think.
Awesome.
Oh man,
it's good to hear,
man. That just like
I think we should start just like throwing out names. Just see Vector Man, Rocket Knight. No.
Yo, what if they did Mega Man?
Comics.
What if
Oh,
Way
yeah,
Forward
yeah.
did a Mega Man?
And wait-
Comic Zone.
Comic Zone. That's a good one.
Shining
not
Force
Capcom.
3. What's good?
It's not
Shining
Capcom.
Force
That's
3.
not
Come
Capcom.
on, man.
Guardian
Say it.
Heroes.
We're not going to react to any of
God damn
that.
it, man. Stop, give me a wink or
Poker
something.
face.
No Strider in there.
A little twitch. Nothing.
Power Stone.
Power Stone.
Power
Shit,
Stone.
yeah, that's a good one.
Power Stone is great.
That's a great
I had
one.
fun. Was there one or two of them? Was it two?
I saw
Two.
a blink. I saw you blink.
Yeah, he
Oh.
blinked.
Oh, somebody- somebody-
Somebody moved.
Sports.
Oh, man. Well,
Yeah.
that was another question I was going to ask. What the future,
Yeah,
what
that's
were you
what I
going
was
to
gonna
talk
ask.
about the future of Way Forward? But you pretty much did it there. So
Yeah.
Or,
Wow.
to-
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, we going back a few years, we kind of diversified a little bit, and we started doing more like mobile stuff and things that were kind of less gamery. I think like now we're getting more into the core gamer stuff. So the stuff you're going to see from Way Forward in the next 2 years, it's PC, it's all the consoles, so it's PS4 and Xbox, but it's also, of course, as they come out, be PS5 and SX and stuff like that. But it's going to be, either things where we're creating brand new brands, which we're doing. In fact, we have, we just unveiled one called Vitamin Connection for Nintendo Switch. Total new Way Forward thing. Yeah, it's a really good game. I didn't work on it, so I can say without too much bias, it's really good. I think when it comes out, people are going to be surprised how deep it is. So we're going to be creating new stuff like that. We're going to be taking existing brands like River City Girls and putting our spin on it. We're going to be doing some stuff that ties into like, movies or cartoons or popular stuff at the time. But, our goal, and so far the stuff we're lining up right now is pretty crazy. And I think will drive people crazy. Like, I mean, one of the things that you might be doing is if I pitched it here, you would say, you're not.
It sounds
that's not even a real game. Like, that's not even possible.
It sounds like the nerdiest fan fiction
Yep.
thing ever. And yeah, I can't say anything about it, but it makes me excited to come into work and just work on it by myself over there.
That's awesome. That's how you know it's going to be good.
That's how you know
because
it's
Rival
you're-
schools.
You're,
Oh my God! What the?
Someone in the chat said it.
Come
Someone in
on.
the chat said it.
Oh, someone in the chat said it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Rivals.
Sure. I don't see it in the chat.
Listen.
Let me see.
I think we need a Rescue Rangers revival.
No, I'm about that.
Oh, he nodded. He nodded. He moved.
Wait,
He
what?
moved. I saw him. He moved his head.
I'm just
It was in
I'm
agreement.
share.
It was in agreement. That was all that was.
Disney, man.
Good. That was a really good NES game.
Oh.
That was amazing. That was definitely amazing. I used to love that game.
All right. So is there anything else you want to add? Anything in the chat?
BN Motive was asking, is there going to be a River City Girls Switch update?
Oh,
Tell him hello because I can't see the chat.
Oh no.
Tell him no.
No, BN Motive. Hello, BN Motive.
Ah.
Actually, you guys did.
No,
have
you
an
guys are supposed to say hello for me. I can't.
I'm
Oh, no,
typing
he's
it right
typing
now.
it.
He's typing. He's in charge of the.
He
Actually,
working. He working.
actually, you should have said that because you're in charge of the chat. 'Cause I can't. Hold on. I can't even barely see. All right.
It's right in front of you. You can see.
There we go.
Oh,
BN Motive says hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello. What was this question?
That was the patch.
Is there going to
Yeah,
be
so the patch is out right now. Our first big patch on Steam PC. It's coming to all the consoles, all the versions of it. It just takes us a while to test it for the platforms and go through QA and go through submissions. But no, we're excited about this one because it's really especially with how big Twitch is now, it's very easy for us to watch people playing our games, see what they love, see what they hate, react to it. There's a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of it is like minor tweaks, like, over a dozen little things that Bannon and I tweaked here and there that, programmers tested. The big ones are we fixed the doors. So everybody was getting frustrated that if you do a quick punch next to a door, you automatically warp and you don't mean to. So we tried out a few things, and what we found was that if we turned it into a hold, it wouldn't get in the way of the combat. And we tested the timing to make sure it still wasn't possible. So it's short enough to where it doesn't slow down the gameplay, but it's long enough that now you can fight wherever you want and doesn't get in the way. And then we added the extra ending. I won't get too much into that just because I don't want to spoil it. But basically, the game only had one ending before, but it has secret stuff, and so this kind of enhances the experience and adds extra content. That was really cool to add. And then lots of like little tweaks and balances.
Oh yeah,
there.
just like some of the bosses might have been too hard for some people, so I just tweaked some numbers and stuff. So under the hood and stuff.
Okay.
And that's coming to the systems soon. The
Yep,
PC
it's coming to Switch and Xbox and PS4 as soon as we can get it out.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Sweet.
And then we'll be playing it again.
No, we're definitely playing it again. I'm dying. I need to start this over.
We're gonna play it.
And they'll finally play.
We're gonna play it. Finally.
I'm down. I'm down.
Like the thing about like just why patches take a bit to come out. It's like, okay, now all the things that we okayed on PC, try this on Switch now. Like just simply down to doors. It's like, oh yes, just holding this button by a door, that works. Now hold an enemy, hold down the button, get hit, hold down the button by this door, check out every single door.
Yep.
It takes a bit.
Yeah, we had actually there were a few of those things where we didn't apply the new hold because it would just slow it down. So like I think weapon pickup is not up to it. Right. Yeah. So making those kind of decisions. And then also because there's so much in this game, so much gameplay, so much depth, so much like, possible ways you can play it. We wanted to wait a little bit too and kind of react to it. So that's what we've been doing too, is waiting till the game. We didn't want to do a day one patch and then say, oh, but we missed this because everybody wanted this. So we waited a little bit. We watched a lot of Twitch streams, saw what people love, saw what people were getting frustrated at, and then, made sure we got as much of that into that one big patch as possible. So, it's largely the same game. We didn't add new characters or anything, but the gameplay experience, the things that frustrated people or that where they were tripping up on is mostly ironed out now.
Cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right. So that seems to be all I got.
I have one last question.
Okay.
One final question. You said you guys are working on a bunch of stuff that you really can't really talk about right now in the future and stuff like that. What is the time frame that you guys have that you could start announcing some things that we'll start to see what you're working on?
It's tough because we're working with other publishers on most of it. And so it kind of depends on how they feel about it. Like it's an interesting point on how that worked on River City is we're used to announcing stuff pretty early when we're in control of it.
It took a while.
Yeah. And Arc was the one that, because we were thinking, oh, okay, like we're done with the game. Like, it's in submission now. Let's announce it. Let's start, showing off art and characters and stuff. And it was actually Arc that said, oh, we do everything on like a 2-month schedule out. And so we actually thought that's really short. Is that going to be enough time? Ended up being perfect because it was basically 2 months from the Anime Expo where we first revealed the trailer to releasing the game, and it ended up being like this perfect amount of time for interviews and trailers and soundtrack and really hyping it up. So it kind of depends. I mean, some of the stuff we do, if we're the only publisher, we might be able to be a little more open with some of that stuff and even show some stuff as it's in production. But usually when we're dealing with anybody like an established Capcom or Konami or Nintendo or anything like that, they're way more locked down on that stuff, and they don't really want to start teasing it until the game's basically done. So it kind of depends on how some of those things land.
Cool.
Yeah. Actually, I have a question.
Oh,
I remembered it. I remembered the question because we asked this of all our guests.
Yes.
What's the game that made you get into making games?
River City Ransom.
Really? Oh, okay. That's for you, yeah. What about you, Adam?
I mean, as a kid, I was drawing River City Ransom comic books.
Yeah.
What?
So,
Nice.
That's awesome.
I think it's funny how well that holds up too, because you look at a lot of NES games and it's like, all right, that looks kind of good. That looks kind of good. The way they draw those characters is still amazing. In fact,
super charming.
Yeah, like when Kay, our animator, did Kunio's moves, when he's biting the cheeseburger, or actually an even easier example, when you get your 3 get hits with most of the characters, it's kind of copying like the poses of
It's copying the pose, but their heads are exactly the same size. So if you take the Kunio or Alex from original River City Ransom, when he's getting hit and he's got bug eyes, that face perfectly fit on Kunio and River City Girls.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we carried
So he's
over.
making the same face.
That's awesome.
I mean, I don't remember what game got me into it, but definitely from the NES era, a very influential game for me is Double Dragon 2, which kind of makes sense because this is This game is really like 1 foot in Cuneo, River City Ransom, 1 foot in Double Dragon. I was really happy to see us have the DD2 style grab and throw system in this because that's just so satisfying. The auto grab and from walking was good in this. We put that in the Batman game too. If you guys ever played the Wii game again, totally ripped it off. So it's like the way you're attacking, you're flipping him over. All that stuff is great. So
it's a perfect.
I would say that
if it works, why not, man?
Played that game dozens.
And if anything else, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah,
okay.
That game just thinking outside of the box. I mean, it blew my mind just switching the controller to beat a boss.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Psycho Mantis. Oh man, that boss battle.
That was
the first time.
Make video games.
Yeah.
And on this game, it's cool too because we've only gotten into things like VO for characters and vocal songs for games in the last like 5 years of WayForward stuff. Like, we've been around for 30 years, but it's really only recently that we've been like messing around with that stuff. River City Girls, this is the first time we've done full anime sequences. First time we've had this many vocal songs during gameplay. First time we've done the manga comic sequences, which I thought came out really good for awesome. The amount of yeah, those ended up being so much easier to do than the anime stuff and kind of almost overshadowed the anime stuff. So this game is like us trying out a whole bunch of new stuff that I think you're going to see keep popping up in future WayForward games based on how well it did.
I like that.
Nice.
I like the manga style.
You're welcome.
Very good.
What was that?
You said, what'd you say?
Oh, I was just saying you're welcome, WayForward.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
You
guys
guys
are awesome.
You guys killed it. You guys killed it.
You
man.
definitely did, man.
Listen, we'll be along for the ride on every one of those games, and we hope to see all this implemented in it. It's a perfect storm, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, man. So that
You're still not getting put in the game.
Hey, I didn't
That
ask.
was him.
This was this guy. That was this guy.
I could care less. Man.
I just wanna-
He wants this to happen.
I'm cool with it. I'm expecting rejection.
I just want to play the game.
That's how I live my life.
If you want to put us in still, not him, that's fine.
Damn. I don't care. I could care less. But
I have another legitimate question.
okay.
Is it?
Will you guys come back and talk about these projects back to this Level 857 live video game podcast?
Yes.
Sweet.
Okay, that was actually good.
Nice.
All right.
Yes.
All right. And very last question. What questions do you guys have for us, if any?
What's in the box?
Oh, question mark.
It's
Actually,
a question mark.
That's a
It's
really good
secret.
question. Hold on. I'm going to do this live right now.
You have to jump.
What's in the box?
You have to jump. I'll hold it over your head, and you have to jump and punch it. Damn it. It's a wire.
Extra wire. Some
and
headphone
more,
wires.
and more wires.
Whoa, just wires. Just tons of
Just a bunch of wires.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
DuckTales is in there.
Yeah.
What a way to end.
That was a good climax right there.
Oh my god.
But thank you guys once again. It's been an honor having you guys on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, until next time, man.
I'll be checking that Twitter and all kinds of information to make sure if there's some sort of announcements. And I'm going to see if I could find Billy and Jimmy. I have a feeling you're messing with me.
It's Bimmy. It's Bimmy. It's Bimmy and Jimmy.
I got to make sure.
Billy and Jimmy.
I got to make sure they're in the game, though.
They're in there. I actually had to call. I couldn't call them Jimmy and Billy.
Uh-huh.
They're James and Williams.
The Williams. Isn't that the
like
best?
it.
Well, that's like River City. So there's one character in River City where he's like, "Don't you want to know my name? I can't tell you my name." And he's like cagey about it, and everyone's like, "I don't care what your name is." That was legitimately, there was a little bit of a rights concern where
SNK.
could we use him? And so we put him in as an homage character. But it like the joke in the game is just driven into the ground. Everyone's like, "I don't care, just move the shit so I can keep playing."
Wow.
That was
That's
funny.
the charm, man. That's the charm of the game, man.
Yeah, keep it up.
Well,
Oh man.
I'll see you guys next time.
Until next time, guys.
Yep.
Thank you
Thanks for
so
coming through,
much.
guys.
We appreciate your time.
Thank you
Are
again.
we saluting?
Yes.
Yes. We salute.
We're saluting.
Okay.
Salute you guys out.
Awesome, man.
That was so sick.
These guys are awesome.
Yes, sir.
Funny
They're
dudes.
very
man.
cool.
Very,
Yes,
very funny
sir.
dudes.
Actually,
I learned a lot about River City, man. I learned a lot about that game. I didn't even realize. I learned a lot about River City Underground. I'm gonna look that up right now.
I hope you
All right, well-
I hope you all in the chat learned about it. Too,
yeah.
so.
And thank everyone in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much in the chat for all your questions. You guys are awesome.
It's appreciated.
As always,
Subscribe
Every
to
time.
YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah. Well,
All our social media.
Speaking of that, yes, I was going to say.
Show us the love.
Make sure for all those that already subscribe to our channel on YouTube, thank you, a million thanks. But if you haven't and you're watching this right now, what's going on, man? Just hit that button. Subscribe.
Where is
Hit
it?
that button. Subscribe.
Oh, it's right.
Also, follow us on all our social media.
Right down there.
Follow us on all our social media because if we hit 500 followers or subscribers, what's going to happen is we're going to do the hot sauce challenge live on a podcast.
Yeah, buddy.
We're going to suffer.
We're gonna suffer really
With
bad.
all kinds of crazy, burning hot, freaking hot sauces. But more importantly, this is something I just thought of. This is the 99th podcast right now.
Yes, it is.
That means the next podcast is our 100th podcast.
100.
That's right.
100.
And we have a very special guest for our 100th podcast, which I'm not going to say yet. Not going to say yet. You're probably going to know
Watch out Twitter.
by tomorrow.
Watch out Twitter.
You'll find out tomorrow around
If
11
you follow us on our
a.m.
social
Eastern
media,
Standard Time.
you'll follow us on our social media. You'll know.
And if you know us in person, you'll know.
Because this is a very special guest. Huge fans of this person. And he's going to be on our 100th podcast. I can't even believe it's been almost 100 podcasts already.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
What happens
man.
when you have it every week?
That's crazy.
It's gonna catch up to you real fast.
It's gonna happen real fast.
And when is
right?
it every week?
7:30 Eastern Time.
PM.
PM.
Yeah.
PM.
Not AM.
PM.
PM.
Eastern time.
Show us that love. Because we like to give that love right back to you.
Yeah.
Subscribe to that channel.
Thanks again.
Get all that exclusive information.
And if you want to listen to us and subscribe to the podcast on all the streaming services, all that good stuff from Spotify, Google fucking podcast.
Damn, he said Google fucking
Google fucking podcast. Just write it just like that in the Google.
On Apple.
Google
on Apple
Podcast,
Podcast.
Apple
Apple.
Podcast, all that good stuff. Stitcher. What's another one?
We're still on Stitcher?
Yeah,
Stop
I think
playing
so.
games.
All
I
your
think so.
favorite. All your favorite podcast apps.
Any podcasting app.
Type in level 857.
Just type in level 857 exactly.
If
and
you ain't
just
there, tell us.
bam.
And then we'll be there.
That's right.
Will
man.
magically appear.
It's like bam, out of nowhere.
But in all seriousness, thank everybody out there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Leave comments, man, because we read them and we respond to it as fast as we can.
One of us will.
One of us will read it. We actually keep in touch with each other. We let each other, hey, you want to answer this? You want?
Yep.
We are very active, so
Right.
leave a comment, man. Let us know what you think, if anything.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Peace out, y'all. Show us that love.